I gave you my heart.
In this video, you are going to learn about the scope of a variable. Okay, yeah, there's a LEGB rule one, but I don't want you to mug up that rule. Instead, we will be learning it by practical examples. Okay, so let's start with the first example. Therefore, I'm assigning something as a global variable. So how can we assign as a global variable? By returning out of every functions and everything. Okay, so what I have to write is just assign a variable. So for I'm writing name as a string like this is a global variable. So this is global. Global variable like this. Okay. Now we are assigning some functions. So for definition, def, and then I'm writing a greet like this, and instead of function I'm writing something like reassigning a name like name equals to Sammy, and I'm basically after this will be concatenating. So let's create inside a greet function or another function for def, and then hello function. Yeah, hello function like this. Okay, and what we are going to do is inside this function I will be concatenating strings like hello, and then plus my name means hello and printing this name. Okay, so I'm calling this function afterwards. Let's call like a hello, and I'm calling a function afterwards a greet function. So greet function like greet function. Yeah. Okay, so what it will do is let's firstly run it. Yeah, hello Sammy. Why it will print firstly a hello Sammy? Why? Because as what it will do, it is a global scope, right? So if I had reassigned a name, means it is the scope. Like I had reassigned the name variable, and it has the scope inside this function. If you will be printing outside this function anywhere, like you are concatenating outside this function greet, then what it will print is like I am concatenating is hello plus the name. So it's outside the function, what it will print hello, and this is global variable. But inside function, as I had reassigned it, what it will print is hello, then it will print a Sammy because it has a scope inside this function. Therefore I am removing this. So what it will do is it will automatically print this name because it is a globally variable, and as we have not redefined it, so what it will print is, see, hello, this is a global variable, right? Okay, now let's check another example. Let's check another example. Therefore I'm assigning something like x equals to 50. Yeah, so I'm assigning as a global variable like x equals to 50, and what I'm doing next is I'm assigning a function. I'm making a function name of like a func. Okay, inside of passing x variable, now what we are going to do is printing. So print like f, and then x is inside a curly braces, I'm branching a x. Okay, it's perfect. Now I'm doing a local reassignment. Local. So right, I will comment it out so you can read it. Reassignment like this. Oh, sorry, add reassignment. Yeah, reassignment. Okay, so what I have to do is justly I'm reassigning it like x equals to 20. therefore I'm reassigning it x equals to 200. Yeah, therefore I'm assigning it. Yeah, okay. Now printing, I'm printing what? I'm printing same x is like I'm printing that. Control C. Oh, sorry. Now what it will happen is, as I had defined it as a global scope, so firstly it will start from here. So what it will happen is, firstly write a function. I'm calling a function like func, and then I'm passing the x like this. Okay, as I defined earlier. So what it will do is, firstly it will call, right? It will call the function. Yeah, so it will go here, then it will print the function. It will check that whether my above anything redefined or not, as I had not redefined here. Here if I had redefined it or not. I had not redefined it, so by default what it will take this value. Means I had globally declared it will take by default this value. Now as a local reassignment, it goes further and see I had reassigned this x equals to 200. So what it will happen is, as I am printing it, it will check whether above any reassignment happens or not. See, I had reassigned it, so what it will print? It will print here 200 instead of 50. So it has a scope below these functions, because as you know, after the assignment you can reassign something like I had reassigned this x equals to 50 by x equals to 200, then I'm able to print. So the scope of this x will be this much inside the def function, not above this, not above here. Okay, so let's print it. What it will print, let's check. X will be 50, which is global variable. As I told, it will print the by default value global variable, because I had not reassigned it here. And on going further, I had reassigned it x value, therefore it will print 200, which has a local scope like this much. Okay, now let's check if some further examples are there or not. Therefore I'm writing, I'm same function. I will be working in same function. So for writing a global. So for global, and I'm writing here x, like x. Global x. It's giving an error, right? Let's get rid of this. Yeah. So what I will be doing, I am declaring inside a global function. Okay, so tab, yeah. Okay, I'm printing this. So what I'm printing it as f. Oh, sorry. Print. What the hell, man? Print. Then I'm printing f x is like this, and simply x. What I've done is, inside the function I had declared a global x variable. Therefore what I'm doing next is x will be equals to 200, like I'm reassigning it, x will equals to 200 like this, and I'm printing it. So I'm printing it, therefore I'm printing the same value as before. Control C like this. Okay, so I am now calling this function. Let's see what happens. So function like this. What do you think what it will print? Now let's check. Say x is 50 and x is 200. By default it will be assigned as globally. So therefore I reassigned it here 50. What it will happen? It will give an error because we can't redefine like this. So instead of this, what I have to do is I have to redefine it outside, like x equals to 50. Don't do that error. Okay, so I have to define it outside, and then what I have to do is I can use that variable and define as a global. Okay, what it will print? It will print a starting. It will check further. There is not any reassignment. So what it will print is, it will print by default global variable. And now let's go further from here. It can add reassigned it. Okay, So after going down, print will check whether the reassignment happens or not. So as I have reassigned it x equals to 200, so what it will print? It will print x will be equals to 200. Okay, so this is the basic example of a scope. With this trick you can determine any scope of the variables, how much scope it contains. Okay, hope we will see you in next video. Like a Hellcat.